What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hope we're all doing extremely well, and welcome to my 20-0 FUT Champs custom tactics and formations video. Yeah, haven't been 20-0 for a long time, and what you see in front of you is not the squad I used for that. I'm doing something completely different, but the formations and the tactics are still the same. So I use predominantly my icons mainly for the 20-0, but you can see here I'm trying to do Hannibal. He goes to a 93. A bronze to a 93 is insane. And I'm also doing the Belgiums as well. So I'm just messing around with a lot of different players at the minute. And I did Thiago Silva. That is a really good card. Quite expensive, but he is an absolute beast in this game. And yeah, I mean, if you've ever played the previous versions of this game, you'll know that every single flashback card has been pretty good. And he's a pretty solid card. So highly recommend him. So yeah, let's jump into what we have. We have a 4-4-1-1. Now, I did this about 4 or 5 weeks ago. But obviously, since then we've had a title update. We're on title update number 14. So things have changed massively, I think, in the last 4 to 5 weeks with the new patch. So this time around, we're running balance 50-70, fast build-up forward runs. Direct passing for me isn't working at this point in time on either generation. So for me, direct passing is too slow, it's too passive. Therefore, I've gone for forward runs. 55 whip, 7, 3, and 1. Now, these tactics, anything between 65 and 70 is good for the aggression and for the auto offside trap. I prefer 70, but on old gen, I would stick to 65. Yeah, also going to talk quickly about the new promo that's coming out on the 7th of June. So we are going to be having, this is confirmed, by the way, so just a run through this really quickly. So we're going to have UEFA Euro Path to Glory cards, International Stars, Team of the Tournaments, Festival of Football Academy. I'm assuming that's going to be youngsters. Euro Make Your Mark, so it's going to be like the standout performers, and then Make Your Mark Plus. Now, the Make Your Mark Plus cards are going to be players that can get upgraded throughout the tournament. So we've got a pretty good June coming our way. So we've got a pretty good solid month of content coming, and of course, I would cover everything I possibly can. There are a few card designs about at the minute, but they're not confirmed. It's just what people are just assuming they're going to look like. So, but this that I've just mentioned is 100% confirmed. This is what's coming our way, possibly starting on June the 7th. But the tournament doesn't start till a week later, so it kind of makes sense to have the new season and that, getting that build up for a week. So bear that in mind. Just because TOTS is finished, we've got some crazy cards coming our way, and we've got some crazy good icons coming our way as well. Some really good upgraded icons. So we're going to want the best of formations. We're going to want the best of custom tactics. So please bear that in mind with these formation videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so people can start looking at these videos. And come on, let's get the best of possible rewards. I'm going to drop you in some gameplay. Now, the gameplay I'm going to drop in amongst this is going to be we're going to see it from Elite Rivals, we're going to see it in FUT Champs, we're going to see it in Ultimate TOTS Cup, so you can see it working throughout the different tournaments, throughout the different games there are, game modes there are, and things like that. So just quickly, I will jump into the team that I was actually running at the time. So this was the team that I was running throughout that 20-0. I did change Hemp. I had Thierry Henry in that position. I had Garrincha in that position. Obviously had Drogba in there as well. But this was the team you see in front of you is 90% the team that I was running in the 20-0 FUT Champs. So yeah, like I say, I do like to give you guys the variety of, not just in FUT Champs, but also in Rivals and other game modes and things like that as well. So just bear that in mind when you see the videos. You're going to see a lot of different players, but the formation and the tactics are exactly the same. Now, again, I've spoken way too much. Let's jump into the gameplay. You'll see it from all different game modes, and then we'll come back to the instructions. So what I really like about this formation, the way this is set up, is you're not limited to where players are sitting on the pitch, and I've got some really good examples to show you. So first and foremost, you have your two banks of four that are very tight together. You can see here we've got Rice. Declan Rice, who is a central midfield player, actually comes to the wing without me asking him to. He just I mean, here, for example, he comes for the ball, he shows for the ball, he comes to the wing. Whereas if you're limited your players to things like stay back while attacking, cover wing, cover centre, whatever, then they are going to do that. They're going to stay in that position. They're not going to move. They're going to be very, very rigid. So that's why I've got this new setup where I kind of allow the front four in midfield, 2 strikers to kind of do their own thing. And not only that, you can play some really nice football. Now, I don't know about you guys, and this is going to be really interesting, is they say this is a football simulation. To me, at times, it's very arcadey. Now, I do prefer the simulation type things. I prefer to build up from the back, play proper football, as it is in real life. As you watch Man City play it, or teams like that, where they build from the back, and then you get a goal like this. To me, that is the most satisfying thing about FC24. When you can work it from back to front and then ultimately score the goal without your opponent touching the ball, that to me is the be-all and end-all. I love them moments. And they are very few and far between in this game, unfortunately. But again, I'd love to hear your feedback on that, whether you guys are, just Route 1 football or prefer to play it around. But for me, I just prefer to pass the ball, pass a move, and go from there. But although you're using forward runs and fast build-up, it doesn't mean your players are out of position. Like here, for example, you can see I had a few extra players running forward, but there's still 2 banks of 4 eventually coming back. I'll just have to slow my opponent down until everybody gets back into shape, and then from back to front, you can move it extremely well. You've got your runners that are moving pretty quick. Here we get a little bit of luck with the first touch, but that's what first touch is all about. And then nice little left-footed finesse shot there. So yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again, don't be disheartened if you concede a goal or 2, especially early on. Keep plugging away, keep persevering, because this game, again, repeating myself, this game will allow you to come back as many times as you want. It does. That's the truth. I've been in situations before where I've been 3 or 4-0 up, and the person's come back and beat me. And it happens. And it happens to. You can make that happen for yourself as well. So don't be disheartened if you concede a few goals. But this formation does allow for a little bit more freedom. You can make those silly mistakes, I guess, and get away with it. So what I mean by the silly mistakes is you can use the tackle button and you're nowhere near your opponent, and you're not catching up with your opponent after that. It's never going to happen. But this formation will allow that forgiveness. It will allow you to make those tiny little mistakes and not regret it. And again, yes, I have some pretty good players, but we all have some good players by now. And this is just, like I said, the goals I scored, and not just the sheer amount of goals I scored in this formation, but it was the way the goals were scored. Working it out from back to front, not letting my opponent touch the ball, the runners, the 1-2s, the fast build-up play, the little pockets of skill, and like I said at the beginning, suffocating your opponent in their own box is, do not let them out. Do not let them out at all. And the one thing I will say, like I said previously as well, in the respect of my video of breaking the AI, what I meant by that was, if you switch from your left back to your right mid, or your right back to your left mid, the AI doesn't pick up that runner. And even now, as I'm playing the game right here, right now, that still works. That is still the same. So you will see it in these gameplay clips. I still use that switching method, that left back to right mid, that right back to left mid, and the AI still is not picking up those runners. So that is still a viable option as well. And with this 4-4-1-1, it allows for that type of thing as well. It allows for that type of gameplay. So you are not limited to your 1-2s, passing it simple, passing it short, passing it long. You have every single option available to you that this game will allow. So you do have the tiki-taka, you do have the short ping-pongy passes, you have this type of ball here that is few and far between in the game, in my opinion. Again, I like to emulate real life football, and this is one of the few formations that actually allows that. And you can see we're in FUT Champs now. And you know FUT Champs plays totally different to every other game mode out there. It plays different to Elite Rivals, it plays different to the Ultimate Tots Cup. It just plays different. And to have a setup that allows you to play the same way throughout each game mode, I think is brilliant. And this point here, the guy was AFK at this point, so I was 3-0 up, he's just put his controller down. So again, why not have a little bit of fun? Nice little bit of skill with Kaka, and then a real sweaty goal right there. But this game finished, I think this game finished 6 or 7-0, but I don't show the rest of the goals because, like I say, he was AFK, he just put his controller down, which is fine. I haven't got an issue with that, I'll just play the game as is. And then we move on to the Ultimate Tots Cup. What was it? 6 wins, 10 goals. I mean, I did a video on this a little while ago in the Players Lounge thing. You can do this in under an hour, and I think the rewards were, was it four guaranteed Tots packs and something else. I didn't get anything from it that was worthwhile at all. A lot of mine was duplicates. So, but to do that in under an hour is an achievement in itself, because it is a quicker game mode, it is a sweatier game mode, everybody uses constant press. I didn't have to go down that route with this game. I did not have to go down that route of constant press or anything. I just used the 4-4-1-1 with the setup that I've already shown you, with the instructions that you'll see at the end of the video, and this was the outcome. I did it in about 42 minutes. I did time it, I can't remember. I did it in about 42 minutes. And we all like to do those quick game modes, you know. I haven't had any messages for a long time about golden goal or anything like that, and I didn't get the golden goal thing in the Ultimate Tots Cup. I think I had one quitter. As soon as I scored a goal from kickoff, he quit. Apart from that, everything was worked for. It went the full 90. So yeah, I mean, 42 isn't too bad, I don't think, for a quick, for some really good packs for really quick, you know. So I can't really complain. But again, I like to use different players. I have the players to my advantage, so that's what I did. I used different players, different positions. Oh, that's a nice chip there by Ronaldo as well. So yeah, I'll repeat myself again. Like I said, the different game modes, I think it's always worth showing the different squads, the different game modes that it works in, because that way you don't have to say to yourself, right, okay, you know, in FUT Champs we're going to play a 4-3-2-1, and in another game mode I'm going to play a 4-2-4, and in another game mode I'm going to play a 5 at the back. This I've said it before, use your slots, use your 5 slots, use your base slot and your 4 extra slots. Fill them with formations that actually are usable and that you make work for you, because you need to remember that I'm not a pro. I don't claim to be a pro in any way, shape or form, and if I was to use a pro formation, it probably wouldn't work for me, because I don't have the same mindset that these players have, that these young kids have this day and age, you know. So therefore my brain doesn't work as quick as what it would with people like that. So therefore I have to accommodate for certain things. I have to accommodate that certain days my internet is not great, certain days the servers are not great, certain days I'm not feeling the game, but I'm playing it anyway because I want those rewards. So therefore you have to juggle all this and think to yourself, okay, this is the formation I'm comfortable with. I know this formation works at the best of times. These are the players I'm comfortable with, and therefore roll with it, stick with it, persevere with it. It's one of the reasons that the best possible advice I can give anybody in this game is don't necessarily have to follow the meta. And what I mean by not following the meta is you don't need those meta players or those meta formations to get up the wins or get what you want from this game. I think the best advice I can possibly give anybody at this point in time is use players that you know. Because if you use players that you know, then you already have an advantage. You know their weak foot, you know their strong foot, you know their agility, if they're good in the air, if they're good physically, how fast they are. You know all this because you've watched them in real life and you know a lot about them. Therefore you know how they play, and you don't have to think to yourself, are they left footed, are they right footed? So that's the best possible advice I can give anybody at this point in time, is know your players that you're using. Yeah, I must have said that piece of advice a million times this FC24 cycle. Definitely 100% know the players that you're using. It makes a massive difference. And then we jump straight back into another FUT Champs gameplay. Again, we're using slightly different players. We're using Mainu this time, Athenia. Yeah, they're just amazing players in this game, and you can see with the fast build-up, everybody is just running forward. You're overwhelming your opponent. You get the goals that you need, and you hope and pray that it's enough to get the win. But on this occasion, the guy again went AFK during FUT Champs. I saw no reason why they would go AFK, but they did, and I got a nice easy goal, nice 3-0 win. Eventually, they quit on me. So again, suffocating your opponent, doing what you can do, because at the end of the day, it sounds ratty, but we want these rewards. We want these top-notch, top-tier rewards that we can possibly get. So I'm not going to keep waffling on. We're going to jump straight into the instructions. Got a few more game clips to go, and then, like I say, we'll jump into the instructions. You can see how this 4-4-1-1 works. You can see how good it is as well with the goals I've been scoring. It's not been like 1-0 or 2-0. It's been 3, 4, 5, 6-0. So you can see you get a lot of chances, you get a lot of goals. So anyway, one more game clip, and then we'll come to the instructions. As you can see from the gameplay, we scored a lot of goals. I think off the top of my head, we scored in excess over the 20-0, over the Ultimate Tots and the Rivals games. I think I scored in excess of 100 goals in around 35 to 40 games. Now that's a lot of goals. I did concede as well. Don't think for one second that I didn't concede. I did lose a few games in the Ultimate Tots. I did lose a few games in Rivals as well. So I'm not 100% perfect. This isn't like a 200-0 video. I'm just merely saying that it's my first 20-0 with this setup. And the Rivals and the Ultimate Tots Cup, I was just blowing people away with this formation. It was such a good formation. So anyway, the instructions. Stay back while attacking and overlap on the left back and right back. That is it, guys. We are not running a midfield of sitting players anymore. We're not doing that. That is finished now. There's none of this comeback on defence or anything like that anymore. We literally keep the back four as our defence, and everybody else can just run around like headless chickens and do what they've got to do. So the only slight tweaks we've made to this formation is the right mid and left mid get in behind, stay in the box for crosses, or get in the box for crosses, sorry. That's it. Let them do their own thing. The two in the midfield, balanced cover centre, that's for both. The CF or the cam get in behind, and the striker get in behind. That is it. We want the front six to go and dominate, to go and to strangle, to suffocate the 18-yard line. We want them to suffocate our opponent to the point where they can't even pass it out of their own box. Because if like me, that has been a theme happening to me personally, where I can't get out of my own box. Even a clearance hits one of their players, they're back on the attack again, and I spent majority of the first half in my own box. I do not like that. I do not like the way the game plays like that. But this is how it works. If you can suffocate the 18-yard line, you're in with a massive, massive chance of getting those extra wins, and that is what you're here for, is those extra wins. So, honestly, give this one a try. I guarantee you will get at least an extra 3 to 5 extra wins with this setup. And I'm not going to say you're going to go 20-0 because I can't promise that. But what I will say is, being honest, you'll get an extra 3 to 5 wins with this setup. And you know, with the new cards that we've got coming, I highly recommend running this one, especially with the new FUT Champs rewards and things like that that are coming our way. It's going to be well worth it. So let me know what you think to this formation, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. I can't tell you guys how appreciative I have of every single one of you that has subscribed to my channel. It has been amazing, and your response has been amazing, and your comments have been amazing. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. So this is kind of my, you know, my thing to you guys. You know, let's get those extra awards, let's get those extra wins, you know, and let's finish the FC24 cycle on a massive, massive high. Let's see those end game teams, you know. And yeah, I will drop another video on Friday night, Friday evening, sorry. And then over the weekend, I'll look at the new stuff. And yeah, I'll do stuff accordingly, as always. So anyway, enough talking. You've been amazing, and I'll see you next time.